On April 18th, 2021, I celebrated 1 year free of cutting, and I'm so happy to be able to film this video and tell you that as of April 18th of this year, 2022, I am 2 years free of cutting. And last year, when I celebrated a year free from cutting, I got a guinea pig, and that guinea pig's name was Luna. And I'm so happy to show you guys that Luna is now a year old. Yes, you are, little birthday piggy. Look at her, there she is. I love her face because it looks like she has a little lightning bolt, like Harry Potter or something. And I'm gonna use Luna to segue into talking about why guinea pigs help me. Like, why guinea pigs, Kit? And it starts off by, well, saying that as someone who has a psychotic disorder, a schizoaffective disorder, it's very alienating when you're in episodes. When I'm delusional, I don't think anyone else is gonna believe me because I know what's in my head is just so far out there that no one's gonna believe me, but of course I believe it. And so that leads to some isolation and then hallucinations as well. Like you're hearing things, seeing things other people don't hear and see, and even though they're real to you, you know, like when someone tries to convince you that, like, for example, the sky's not blue, you're gonna be like, no, it's blue. And so that you feel very lonely. And part of that's a societal issue where they like to shove people like me under the rug and just kind of dismiss them as crazy and unable to be helped, etc. That kind of thing, you know, not part of society, despite it being that people with major mental health disorders are actually super common. And that's just my experience based off isolation. My worst episode was when I was in New York City, and I spent the majority of that episode locked in a room that was the size of a parking space, not talking to anybody. I don't even remember if I really ate anything. It was pretty bad. Like, it was quite bad, and I felt very, very alone. I remember writing in my journals how alone I felt. So when I came back to North Carolina, I thought, okay, I need a friend, I need a buddy. Like, yeah, I'll live with my dad, but it's not the same. I need something that kind of honestly give me responsibility. And so I chose guinea pigs. I got 2 guinea pigs, Arden and Noctis. I'll throw some pictures up of them over here. They were my first 2 pigs. They were adult pigs when I got them. I basically figured out pretty early on that, like, no matter how I felt, how psychotic I was, how manic I was, how depressed I was, none of that mattered because I had mouths to feed. I had piggies to take care of. And piggies aren't really a crazy, intense pet. Luna is literally eating the lettuce. She's eating the lettuce. Let's see if she eats lettuce up here. You want to show them eating lettuce? Good. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Happy piggy eating lettuce. And the thing is about guinea pigs is they're not really that hard to take care of. At least in my experience, they're not. Like, I feed them once a day. I give them veggies twice a day. I clean their cage. And that's really given me some regularity. And the thing is, I now live alone, which is absolutely awesome. And I still wonder, like, how was I able to do that? The answer is DBT therapy and medication. But it's still kind of weird to think, yeah, the weird thing that I can. But anyway, I have 4 guinea pigs now. They live in my sunroom, and they are really happy piggies. Aren't you, Luna? Thank you, Luna. I swear, she's adorable. I love her so much. And the other thing is that guinea pigs, they're so simple. They wake up, they eat, they poop, they sleep, they weep, and then they do the whole thing over again. And I kind of envy them in a way, but at the same time, that simplicity is something that I can find myself tapping into at the end of a hard day. Like, I'll just put some fleece down in the cage and I'll sit in there with the pigs and feed them and interact with them. And it's a really great experience for me to wind down and kind of get grounded in a way. And it's like, I know pets aren't people, and I know the guinea pigs can't, like, talk to me or anything, but, like, just knowing that when I walk through the door and they start squeaking and weeking and getting super excited that I'm home, whether it means food or, like, social interaction or whatever, that really helps my mental health. Because, and while I can't say that the guinea pigs know when I'm sad or when I'm manic or when I'm depressed or anything like that. But no matter what, I pick up a piggy. The piggies love being held. I mean, Luna's really loving it right now because I have lettuce for her. But I mean, like, having a furry friend, and then I kind of just go through cycling picking up all 4 piggies, and they're very cuddly, they're very soft, and some people like dogs, some people like cats, but I like guinea pigs. I really do. And having this little herd of 4 piggies has really added to my life. And the thing is, 2 years free of cutting, how did I do that? Like, really, how did I do that? Because you guys might be wondering how on earth I stopped an addiction. Because that's what cutting is and self-harm is. It's an addiction. But how did I do it? And I've got a few things for that. And the biggest one is DBT, or dialectical behavior therapy. Most people, when they think of therapy, they think of talking to a therapist and having conversation, understanding things, but basically just a series of conversations. DBT is a little bit different. You still have a therapist, but the therapist helps you use skills that you learn through the DBT program. It's usually a program. Mine was 6 months. I did it twice, so I went through it for a year, and it taught me all these real life skills, like how to distract, when to distract, how to deal with interpersonal relationships, and most importantly, how to build a life worth living. That was Marsha Linehan's goal when she came up with DBT, and it has helped me build a life worth living. I mean, DBT covers everything from how to use science to stop a panic attack to how to build friendships and not get into like massive fights from anger and all this stuff. It just, basically, if you have a problem in your life, I guarantee you DBT will help. And that's what I've learned since I started the program. And it's how I live my life. It's how I live alone. It's how I hold a job. Like, I'm full-time. I work full-time at a lab. And it's absolutely amazing. So DBT is the big one. Right after that, I'm gonna say the fact that it's pretty obvious. I don't want more scars. I don't want more questions associated with those scars. I don't want doctors seeing my scars or seeing wounds that are fresh and then wanting to drag me off to a psychiatric hospital. I've already been hospitalized for self-harm once. I don't want to do it again. And I also want those scars to fade so I can tattoo over them. Something awesome, probably more science-related stuff, because I'm weird like that. And I really hated that whenever I did it, I would have to tell my support system, and the shame I would feel, even though they weren't shaming me, but the shame I would feel from that was just absolutely horrible, and I hated it. And finally, the other big reason is that, like, I don't want to break my streak. I want to sit in front of this camera, like, 8 years from now, telling you guys that I made it a decade free of cutting. Like, a whole decade. Oh my gosh. Wow, I'll be like 34 or 35. That's crazy. But I am just so happy that I no longer pick up that blade to do that awful thing, and instead I'll get a guinea pig and take care of the guinea pig and pet the guinea pig, because that's just how my life is now. It's better. Everything's better. And I want it to stay that way.